Scorpio, welcome to your weekly reading. Let's get started and see what messages we have for Scorpio, Sun, Moon, and Rising positions for the week ahead. Keeping in mind that these are general readings and may not resonate for everyone, so make sure to check out your other placements to see what messages you may have there. And if you're interested in a personal reading, have a look at the description below because I am offering a promotion for the month of May. So it's a good time to get a reading if you've been wanting one. All right, my friends, let's get started here for Scorpio. What is the current energy around Scorpio for the week ahead? Oh, interesting. So the Five of Pentacles, or not the, oh, that's so funny. I was going to say the Five of Pentacles flew up, but I had seen the Hierophant. But look, their Five of Pentacles did come out with it. That's so funny. So seeing the Hierophant in reverse with the Five of Pentacles, that's an interesting current energy for you to be sitting in, Scorpio. That says to me that right now, there's some things going on that are making you feel like there's a lot of setbacks, or that you may be feeling at a loss here in the Five of Pentacles. Seeing it come out with the Hierophant, which is also a card number 5, tells me, both of these cards tell me that things could turn around very unexpectedly and suddenly for you. That right now you may be feeling like you're at a loss of something, but it's almost like what feels like it's at a loss is outdated anyway. So it's not really a loss. It's that it's no longer serving you. And it's an outdated way of doing things that could be showing you where there is some stagnation in your energy. And that it may be time to do something that seems like moving away from something outdated. Oops, sorry, just knocked the camera. And that it's like a gateway. You're being shown something here that's like a gateway to move you from one experience to the other. And it feels like one of the reasons that this is something to move away from is because it's not serving you. It's outdated. It feels like you're at a loss because you're pursuing something that doesn't serve you anymore. Now, let's see what the obstacle is, or the challenge is here for Scorpio. Oh, 2 more cards. Very interesting ones. 10 of Swords with the 4 of Cups coming out as your obstacle. So there was an ending that happened quite suddenly that made you feel like you were at a loss. But again, we know that it's because it didn't serve you. That's why it had to end. Emotionally, you're feeling like you've missed out on something. You feel like you're at a loss, that you've missed out on something, and you're focused overly on this thing that you feel like you've missed out on, when really there is this offer coming out of the mountain here for you in the form of a new cup. But you may be overly focused on these 3 cups here. And this 10 of Swords tells me that there may have been a sudden shift in something that left you feeling at a loss. And it was painful, and it was something that you didn't see coming. And now you have this sadness in your emotions that say, well, that's over now, and I'm sad about it. And what if I don't get that opportunity again? Or what if it stays like this forever? You know, and it almost feels like we're seeing the Hierophant in reverse to remind you that sometimes we get redirected away from things that no longer serve us. And sometimes that lesson has to be painful for it to stick. Because if it doesn't happen suddenly and in a way that almost shocks us, we might continue down that path because we desire something about it, even if it's not serving us anymore. And I feel like there's something else awaiting you that does serve you, and that will bring in a sense of renewed balance where you don't feel like you're at a loss. Let's see what's top of mind here for Scorpio. What's top of mind during this experience? The King of Pentacles in reverse. So that tells me that, again, we're in a place where we're not committal. We're not able to commit or accept something. We might be overly focused on this idea of something not feeling like it was fair, or that we deserved it. Like when I see the King of Pentacles in reverse, sometimes it makes me feel like we're not committing to something, but it also makes me feel like we may have received an outcome that we don't think we deserved, that we put in all this hard work and we gave a very strong effort to something, and yet it didn't work out. And so, and it ended in a way that is like 10 of Swords, which is quite a painful ending. That's quite sudden. And I feel like what's top of mind for you right now isn't like, oh, I got redirected away from something that doesn't serve me. I think you're thinking, I didn't deserve that. That wasn't an outcome that was fair. I didn't deserve that outcome. I put in so much effort and dedication and hard work, and yet now I'm left feeling like I've been stabbed by 10 swords and I'm out in the cold in the 5 of Pentacles. And yet that Hierophant is convincing me that this didn't serve you anyway, and so you've been redirected from it. Let's see what's driving this. What's at the root of all of this for Scorpio right now? Interesting. That fell on the floor. It's the Strength card. So what's at the root of this is, I think, a big lesson. This situation, albeit painful and sudden and making you feel like it's a setback or a loss that you didn't deserve because of how much work you put into this or how much effort and dedication, seeing the Strength card tells me that this is something that is trying to teach you. This is a great teaching moment for you to see just how strong you are and how resilient you are and how you can overcome any obstacle. And seeing this card is confirmation for me that you were redirected away from something that didn't serve you, and that it was trying to show you how strong and resilient you are. And I think that it's like you've got your boundaries up right now, because I think you feel a little bit defensive that this is how it worked out. But I think in time you're going to see, thank God this didn't work out. It's almost like a blessing in disguise, kind of moment here. Let's see what the past energy, past influences on this situation. Okay, see? Knight of Cups with the 7 of Swords. So in the past, I think you were wearing your heart on your sleeve, expressing your feelings about something or someone and pursuing it. Knights are about movement. And then seeing the 7 of Swords here tells me that there was some deception, that you may have deceived yourself, or someone may have started to deceive you in the past, and you didn't maybe see it as a deception right away. And that's where it led to that 10 of Swords, where it had to sort of reveal itself as being a deceptive energy, not truthful. So seeing here in the past, you wearing your heart on your sleeve and moving towards something with a lot of love and sort of genuine desire here, and then having it sort of be false. And so in the current energy, we see that you've been sort of saved from this, in the sense of like it had to be revealed that this wasn't genuine, that the intentions of this situation were not as they appeared with that 7 of Swords. Even though you were genuine and you were sort of moving forward with your heart on your sleeve, this situation you were involved in was not 100% transparent, and it ended up really showing its true colors with that 10 of Swords. And seeing the Hierophant again in reverse tells us that this didn't serve you, and you were redirected away from something. It may have involved a Taurus because of that Hierophant card. The 5 of Pentacles is also Taurus, and the King of Pentacles is also Taurus. So you may have been dealing with a Taurus or a Leo because of that Strength card, but there's a lot of Taurus energy here. So, and I know emotionally you're still sort of thinking, I missed out on something, and you may have even taken sort of a cold, distant, aloof stance when it comes to situations like this, because you're like, well, why should I put in any effort in the future when I'm just going to get treated like this, and things and outcomes come out that don't seem to be in balance with how much effort and dedication I put into something. And it almost feels like you have to do a little bit more self-discovery here to see this from a different perspective. because I think this actually happened to save you from committing to something that didn't serve you. Because I feel like you would have committed fully to this. You know, I think seeing the King of Pentacles shows us that you would have committed fully to this. So it's actually a blessing that it didn't work out, because it wouldn't have been sustainable with this deception. Let's see what the future energy, upcoming influences. Interesting. Okay, so upcoming influences here, we see the Queen of Wands with the Ace of Pentacles. So that tells me that there is an energy of something beginning in the future that will be in alignment with you. That Queen of Wands energy is such a consistent, constant flow of creation, of sensuality, of confidence, of ambition, and pursuing things that serve the self and others. So I feel like seeing that in combination with the Ace of Pentacles says to me that there will be a new beginning that does serve you, but you almost have to accept that this saved you from future pain. Like that the ending you received here, although you don't see it as fair, saved you. You know, and it's trying to teach you that right now. And so I feel like by surrendering to that lesson and trusting in it and not letting it bring your emotion down to a place that says, you know, I missed out on something and I never get what I want, and sort of going down that route will save you a lot of agony in the future if you can sort of surrender to this and accept it as being something that happened for your good, for your highest good, you know, and you may have wanted to really commit to this. And so it's almost like you had to see it for what it was right away. And that's why you got that 10 of Swords, right? Yeah, it had to happen this way or else you would have committed to it. Okay, let's see. How does Scorpio feel about themselves? How does Scorpio see themselves right now? Justice in reverse. Yeah, you're focused that it's not fair, that you don't receive fair outcomes. And you may be telling yourself that. You may be saying to yourself, well, nothing ever works out for me, so why am I surprised that this didn't work out? Right? Scorpio, it almost feels like that's what you're saying. And it feels like there's a need for balance here and a need to look at things from a different perspective that say, this outcome serves my highest good, even though I don't understand right now. I will in the upcoming future. I'll see how this was a blessing, and that this was sort of a redirection towards my highest good, even though I don't necessarily agree yet, because I'm still convinced that this was for my highest good. I think you're going to see that it wasn't, you know, moving forward. But right now it feels like you're sort of seeing this as a consequence that wasn't fair, something that you didn't deserve. How do other people see Scorpio right now? What's the outward? Oh, interesting. Queen of Pentacles. Libra got this card as well, but in a different position. Seeing the Queen of Pentacles in reverse right now tells me that your outward expression of yourself is not grounded. And you might be feeling stressed. You might be feeling like you're maybe overindulging in things to make yourself feel better, because you're a bit out of balance right now with being connected to your experience. Because I think, you know, you're focused on the fact that you feel like you missed out on something, and that something wasn't fair, and that you didn't deserve this outcome, and that I don't think you're seeing that this was a blessing in disguise yet. You know, you're still seeing it as something that wasn't fair. What are the hopes and fears here? Oh, we got a bunch of cards. Hopes and fears here seem to surround the idea of accepting this shift in the Knight of Swords. You got the Knight of Swords and the Page of Pentacles. Sorry, there's something on my cards and it's bugging me. So it feels like this Knight of Swords is coming out to encourage you to sort of accept the movement that's happening in your life. But the hope is for you, I think, that acceptance brings upon a new way of looking at things. But I think your fear is that this change won't bring about any sort of new opportunity, and that you'll always be in this cycle. It feels like that's what you are fearing right now, that this will always be the way things work out for you. And I can almost hear you saying that, like that nothing ever works out for me and it's going to continue that way. And seeing Temperance on the bottom of the deck says to me that you just need to be patient and trust that if things are moving in a direction right now that you may not feel is fair, but it almost feels like it's for your highest good right now to be away from whatever this situation was. Yeah. Let's see what the outcome of this could be for Scorpio. Look at that. The outcome is the World card. So things are coming into completion for you for a reason. This chapter had to close. Seeing the World as the final outcome card is such a wonderful message of confirmation that whatever has transpired had to happen exactly how it happened. And to trust that. To trust that and to not go chasing after it again because you feel like you're missing out on something, or you feel like you can't possibly, accept this change. It feels like it would almost be a step of self-sabotage to go chasing after this again, seeing the Knight of Wands in reverse on the bottom of the deck. So it feels to me, Scorpio, like whatever happened here, whatever ended, albeit painful, and I know it didn't seem fair, it happened for your highest good. And you may not want to hear that right now, but seeing the World card says to me that this had to come into completion for something new and in alignment with you to take place. That this other situation could have been taking up valuable real estate in your life, and something far greater is trying to step in. But this has to shut down first. Like this cycle has to come into completion first. And then once it's in completion, there is this lovely new beginning in the future energy with this Ace of Pentacles. And it feels like that will bring in something that really resonates for you with that Queen of Wands being there as well. You know what I mean? Like that Queen of Wands sitting there with that Ace of Pentacles tells me that not only is this a new beginning, but it's something that's going to bring your confidence back and empower you to fill your world with things that you feel connected with and things that incite passion and creativity and confidence and boldness and expression. So this is going to all work out. You just have to sort of trust that what ended was a redirection or a blessing in disguise. Now let's see. Let's close this reading for Scorpio with an oracle card. What is the highest guidance here for Scorpio? Oh, wow. Very interesting. Confirming the whole reading for you here with these oracle cards. Okay. So first card that came out was Chop Wood, which is a time of being grounded in the present moment and preparing for a new start by cleaning up, making space, being grounded in the present moment through the tasks of your daily life, and really focusing on being present instead of having this fear of missing out that keeps you longing for something that doesn't serve you. You know what I mean? And it feels like Chop Wood is coming out because you're being guided to prepare for something new that's about to enter your energy once you sort of allow this other situation to come into completion. So this card sort of encapsulates your whole reading, but you've got more cards here. The next one is you got new life. So there's your Ace of Pentacles. There's your new opportunity. Ace of Pentacles mixed with the Queen of Wands to bring you this new expression where you're sort of waking up. See how she's stretching like she's waking up into a new experience. I feel like you're preparing for this new experience right now, or you're being guided to prepare for this new experience with that Page of Pentacles, Knight of Swords. It's time, right? World card. Seeing here flexible. This is where we have to be flexible with how we're looking at this, to see this as a true blessing and to observe it in a way that says, I trust that whatever I get redirected away from or rejected from means that it wasn't for me in the first place. And that even if it feels unfair or out of balance, I trust that I'm being directed to things that serve my highest good, and I allow completion to take place. With that World card, that brings us to the last card you received, which is Unfinished Symphony. Now, this one came out in the reverse, and I think it's because you haven't completely accepted the closure yet. And that's what remains, is to accept the closure and to allow yourself to move past what happened here, trusting that what is coming up next will serve you, and that you were moved away from something. And I think it wasn't your choice. It was out of your control, whatever you moved away from, so that you could realize this new opportunity. I'm going to leave it at that for you, Scorpio. What an interesting reading. I hope it's been helpful, and I look forward to reading for you again soon, my friends. Take care, and I'm sending you so much love.